everyone, I hope you're having the best day. Today we're here to make a super simple 5-ingredient protein chocolate chip cookie recipe. I have made this a couple of times and it is so delicious. It's also quite high in protein and it's just a great little snack to have when you're feeling like a sweet treat. I hope you enjoy the recipe and I'll see you on the other side. Alright, so the ingredients you need for this recipe are pretty simple. We have hemp seeds, choc chips, some protein powder, peanut butter, and maple syrup. Step 1 is to set your oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, you'll want to get out a large mixing bowl and we are going to start with the wet ingredients. So first off, I'm putting in half a cup of maple syrup. If you don't have maple syrup, you could use another liquid sweetener like agave nectar or honey. Next up, we are going in with 4 slightly heaped tablespoons of peanut butter. Here I'm using 100% nuts peanut butter, so there's no sugar or oils added. And I think that is definitely the best peanut butter to go for because it is healthier. And this one I buy, which is the bigger brand, it's really runny as well, so it's a really great consistency for these cookies. If you are allergic to peanut butter or if you don't want to use peanut butter, you can definitely do this with almond butter or any other type of nut butter. But just so you know, peanuts do have the most amount of protein per 100 grams of any nut. So if you're looking for high protein content, I would stick with the peanuts if possible. So now it's time to start adding in the dry ingredients. Here I have 1 tablespoon of hemp seeds and then the protein powder. So I'm adding in 3 scoops of protein powder. Usually when you buy a protein powder, it comes with a scooper. So just add in 3 scoops of that. If you're measuring in cups, I would say that's about 1.25 cups of protein powder. So the protein powder I've used today is this Bare Blends brand cacao and cinnamon protein, but you could probably use any protein that has a fairly neutral flavor, so either a vanilla, salted caramel, chocolate, any of those kind of flavors would be fine. Maybe like a berry flavor might not go as well, but I mean, if you think it will work, just try it out and see how it goes. And now it's time to add in the final ingredient, which are chocolate chips. So I have dark chocolate chips here and I added in about 2/3 of a cup of choc chips. If you aren't able to find any choc chips, you could just buy regular dairy-free chocolate and chop it up into bite-sized chunks. My favorite dark chocolate that is naturally dairy-free is the 70% Lindt dark chocolate. I use that in my sweet potato brownie recipe, which I will link up the top here. It is so delicious and the Lindt dark chocolate melts deliciously when baking, so I would recommend that if you can't find any dark choc chips. So as you can see here, the texture is quite thick. It's very similar to if you would buy cookie dough batter at the store because it has that oily, buttery feeling to it, which is from the naturally occurring oil from the peanut butter. So that's why this recipe is so great, because the peanut butter acts as the butter and the oil in a traditional cookie recipe. The maple syrup acts as the brown sugar or white sugar that you would usually have, and the protein powder acts as the flour that you would use. So I've got these healthier swaps for traditional ingredients in cookies, which makes this cookie recipe a lot more nutritious than a regular cookie recipe, but it still has amazing flavor and I can guarantee you will love this recipe once you try it. And on that note, please let me know if you do try this recipe out. I would love to see your recreations of this idea, and yeah, tag me on Instagram if you do make this, or just send me a direct message. I would love to see what you have come up with. Alright, so now that we have formed all of our cookies, it is time to put them into the oven. I like my cookies on the harder side, so 12 minutes is perfect for me, but if you're the kind of person that prefers a soft cookie, I would recommend about 8 to 10 minutes in the oven. Alright, so now it is time to take your cookies out of the oven. They actually smell so good. And you want to put them onto a wire rack and cool them for at least 5 minutes before you eat them, or longer if you want them to firm up a bit. Honestly, this is my favorite cookie recipe because one, I know it's a lot healthier than a lot of the other cookie recipes, but two, it's just so easy to make. It takes literally 5 minutes to throw all the ingredients together, then 10 minutes in the oven, and then just cool it for a few minutes and you're done. Like, I don't think I've done a recipe that's this easy, that tastes so good and is so packed full of nutritious foods like hemp seeds, which are high in omega-3s, protein powder, which is just, it's a really great way to get some extra protein in as a vegan. And then, I mean, I guess the chocolate isn't very healthy, but there's not that much chocolate in there. So overall, it's just a really great snack, and I highly recommend you all give it a go. So the clip you're watching now is actually me a week later from filming, doing the editing of this video. I got about 3/4 of the way through the editing and I was just craving these cookies so much that I decided to take a break, go downstairs and make them. And it took me like 20 minutes all up. It was so quick and easy, and it just reaffirmed for me the deliciousness of this recipe, and I highly recommend you give it a go. This is so good. It's just such a nice sweet treat to have when you're just craving something chocolatey, a bit decadent, but it's also gluten and dairy free, so you know, it's not too bad for you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye!